I'm picking Mother's Day as a Mother's Day massacre. And I'm picking Iran. The mosque over in, it's named IMAM. It kind of looks like it says like mom. So I'm going with IMAM over in Iran. It's one of the most famous mosques or the nicest. So I'm going with that on Mother's Day. And then I'm going with the Temple Mount, the dome with the chrome. I keep saying chrome. The golden dome. It's over in Jerusalem, right? And there's three. I'm just trying to remember off the top of my head. It's kind of difficult. There's three. Judaism, Muslims, and Christians. They each have their own story. Is what I'm trying to get at. Where the Muslims, they believe that, I forgot what angel it is, the name of it. I'm gonna play this clip of this guy talking about how important the AL-Asqa mosque. I don't know. I mean, it was the thing that was on fire 3 weeks ago, and I never paid attention to it. But now I'm paying attention to it because I see that they have these specific patterns that they go by. So now I'm looking into the Allah Mosque. That is the place. It's on the Temple Mount, right? And supposedly it's where Jesus did something at, and then it's where Abraham offered up Isaac, right? According to the Jews, that's their belief. And like the Muslims have another belief that something that happened on the Temple Mount. And at the end of that's what it is. The angel's going to sound the trumpet at the end of the world. Okay, so there's a connection with when that is the next target over in Jerusalem. You're going to have the Muslims believing that it's, I think he said that I don't remember the name of the angel. It's an angel that's going to sound the trumpet at the end of the world. So they're going to believe that that's him. And then the Jews, I forget. Because they don't have their own like worship place, right? To call their own. I think that's what it is. Because the last Jewish only temple was destroyed 70 AD by the Romans. So when God strikes, lightning down on that and destroys it, or some kind of earthquake, this one is going to be blamed on God. Because all the other ones are being blamed by like ISIS and white supremacists and whoever, people with mental problems and children with guns, and so this one's going to be destroyed by God, according to the world script, of course. And so the Jews are going to believe that this is the place where we can build the third temple, because it's destroyed now. It's after 70 full years, and then God destroys that temple with some kind of earthquake. I don't know. Is it Mount Olive over there too? Probably. in that exact, is it on Mount Olive too? I don't know where it's at exactly because I'm just looking into it. But the things I hear immediately is what I start thinking, like, oh, okay, I see the whole, like the agenda behind pushing 3 different religions and getting them to believe a different thing when it's destroyed. So what are the, Judaism, what are they gonna believe? I forget what the guy said. But that's the way of getting all those main religions to have a theory about what's going on. And the majority of the people in the world that believe things literally, they're going to believe exactly what the world tells them, without question. Just, oh my God is destroying it. Yeah. Yep. Now, will it be destroyed, like, for real? Well, yeah, I think it'll for real be destroyed. Like, it'll really be destroyed. I'm not saying that everything is fake. I'm just saying that they're lying to you about everything they're doing. They're not. That's not the purpose of why they're doing it. And yeah, a lot of things are staged, just set up right in front of green screens. They're not even there, you know, when they show stuff. And on top of that, look. Remember last year with all the, you know, Florida, let me tell you, Florida is a target. Don't worry, Brian Tucker, you'll be laughing. And Lunsford down there, and all the other people that live in Florida, you'll all be laughing at this destruction. Websy's down in Florida, Jacksonville, right? Rita's down there in Tampa Bay. And then whoever else is down there, I can't start writing off names, but because you remember when everything was evacuated, right? And you got Christopher Green over there talking about war's going to happen on our shorelines, and I'm taking it as that's where all the tsunamis are coming from. They set everything up. It's already been in production last year. Last year they already did it. They already filmed everything. That's why they're gonna send some people out there, but for real, they're just gonna sit back and enjoy the show like we are. I mean, we're doing the same thing. The elite are gonna be doing what we're doing, but we're gonna have a better feeling because we're standing right in the face of fear and laughing at it. I mean, how much better does it get than to laugh in Satan's face and know that you're stronger, more powerful, because he has no effect over you. And then after that, you know, because we stood up in the face of fear, we get to start running things the way that God has intended, on the way that Christ is returning in the conscience of every single human being. It's just a matter of when does the flood recede? When will the ground be dry? Well, the flood starts May 21st of 2019. In every way, like, again, if you believe the Bible literally, you'll believe that the tsunamis, you'll believe the earthquakes are real. You'll believe that the tsunamis were caused by the asteroid that fell from outer space onto our oceans, where the war is going to begin. So depending on your belief is what you're gonna. It's what you're gonna believe. Depending on what you know is what you're gonna believe. So all those evacuations was just a setup, getting everybody set up for the production of this grand old movie. And it's gonna be quite interesting to see. So when you listen to people, and when I listen to this guy, I'm going to play this clip of the way he's explaining it is, well, it's destined to be destroyed. The Temple Mount is destined to be destroyed. It's your guess, you know, and doesn't it just make more sense that on the 70th year anniversary, right around that time, give or take a couple days, maybe, you know, just for that delayed purpose, one last time that the elite like to do. They like to try to wear out the camp of the saints, you know, the Harold Camping's Saints. No, not the camp of the Saints over in Michigan. Not that one. That one there, that camp. It's well, it doesn't have a good roof. The roof is not good over at that camp over there at this moment here. So when they go camping, the wind's gonna blow their roof right off. But I'm talking about the true, like, you know, camping saints. So let me play this guy here, and I'll stop it. I'll stop it where I need to intervene.
Why is the Dome of the Rock so important? The Dome of the Rock monument, commissioned in 685 AD by Islamic leaders after the Muslim takeover, stands upon the Temple Mount in Jerusalem, a site that is considered holy by three religions: Christianity, Judaism, and Islam,
okay,
each of whom lay claim to the area and consider it rightly theirs.
Okay, so that's a war in itself. There's three different groups that are going to be. Well, you bombed it. Nuh-uh. You're the one that put the fire. No, I didn't. It wasn't. It was him. It was God.
The Golden Dome protects the foundation stone, where numerous religious events are believed to have occurred.
Okay, so the numerous events, depending on which group.
The cavern beneath the rock is known as the Well of Souls. The dome and rock sit atop a hill known as the Temple Mount.
Okay, it's up upon the hill, Temple Mount.
So why do these three faiths consider the Dome of the Rock so significant?
I'm sure a lot of people already know this, but I don't. So when I know something, I like to share it with people. Even if it's the first time, and I probably should have known this a long time ago, but I didn't. So now I do.
For Christians, the foundation stone is believed to be the rock upon which Adam made his first sacrifice to God, as well as their sons, Cain and Abel, and possibly even Noah after the flood.
Alright. So it's sacred ground, in other words.
More importantly, the mount is the site of the last Jewish temple, destroyed by the Romans in 70 AD.
See, so that's the most important
According
thing.
to prophecy, the temple will be rebuilt, and the site restored to the Jewish nation.
So what other excuse do you have to rebuild it when it's destroyed by God? Like, not by terrorists, not by white supremacists, not by some angry ex-military guy that has mental issues, by God Almighty raining down like fire and brimstone on her, something like right in that area specifically, like psh, and that way it's undeniable to all three. Like, in other words, the one world order, right? They want to have all three of these religions now believe in one excuse, that God destroyed it. So they'll make it undeniable that it was God that destroyed it, and everybody will say that it was God on the TV. Even the newscasters will say it, and then they'll make everybody believe that that was God when it was not. You know, it's not the creator of all things. Although they're still using all God's materials, so everything's God's anyway when it comes down to it. But who's the like the ringleader in this? Well, it's Satan. So if you worship the images that we see on TV and everything, they're even talking about, next up, we're going to show you this image over with these ships over in the sea. I don't know. Well, next up, we got some more images coming in. So they're talking all about images, so you can worship the image of the beast. And so if you have all the destruction that happens to that temple, that every bit of it is blamed on God, then all three of those religions can come together, maybe, you know, and but all religions are coming together anyway, and that's the whole point of all this. They're setting it up. The elite have set this up for years without knowing the true outcome. Just, they know that they were gonna have a specific person like Stephen James Sean stand up and proclaim that he's Christ through the social media, and then rise up to the mainstream media, because that's kind of what it is. It's all about rising up from like the bottomless pit, like underground, but rise up from the social media platform where you're not famous to the world. Like the 7 billion people, they don't know you, and that's the whole point with having him in place right now. Is his purpose is to do that. However, see, if somebody else or a group of people come along and they have better information that's truthful, proven that it actually does come from our Creator, and it's not going to be a make-believe lightning down kind of God, when you can have that, because that's what Christ is doing these days. He's already returning in everybody's spirit. So once you, no matter what kind of job you have, wherever you're at, you're still going to do your job as a human being with a heart that God has engraved. The law of God is on everybody's heart. So no matter how much you try to deny him, how much of an atheist you are, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. It's not like you are going to hell and the other guy, he's not, because he's a Christian. Protestant, you're going to hell. Burning for an eternity, yes. No, nobody's burning for anywhere, at any time. Nobody's burning for ever and ever and ever and ever and ever and ever. We all have the law of God written in our heart. So people will be convicted of their sins when they're withholding information, when they're lying about something. So when you're in that high profile job, you know, that we all need security everywhere. Like, we just need to watch out for one another. And that's what security is to me. It's not like, well, I need a security guard to walk with me because I'm scared. No, it's security. Like, you look out for your other brother and sister and mother and father and daughter and son. Whatever it is, you look out for them. And so this YouTube thing is coming to a close. The YouTube thing's coming to a close. There's people that are behind the scenes that have, well, you see what's going on already, and it's taken some time, but I think I've helped, in case people didn't know, because I know that there's people that have the job to surveil, but you just don't really know exactly who's what and where, but you're figuring out the truth, just like I'm trying to figure out the truth. And then any bit of truth that I get, that I can put together, I know that I'm helping people understand what's really going on in the world. It's forget about how I know that that's how it's happening. It's just, it is happening. And because how I know is my faith, it's my belief. That's how I know. Well, prove what? Prove my heart? It's in there. It's here. I know what's in here. I know what travels up here, and then I know what to start thinking. Everybody's going to turn away from what has been going on for these past 7 years because the mustard seed, the real Colonel Mustard, Harold Camping, planted that seed almost 7 years ago. And it's growing in people. So even if you were a mocker of Harold Camping before, you're not now. Even if you doubted before, well, some people probably still will, but when all these things do take place, and they will, for sure, because they're already, the most amazing thing is, it's already happening. And I kind of get disappointed when my predictions aren't exact anymore. Kind of get a little, but I know there's room for error, and but it's exciting. I mean, come on, you put yourself in my shoes for a second. You're just one dude on earth, right? That's looking for truth, just like everybody else on earth looking for truth. And it's the entire world. This is the world's script being played out on TV, through social media, right in front of our face. And you can come up with like at least a very, very close prediction as to what the world is getting ready to play out on the television set to the entire world, 7.7 billion people. This is their information. They're going to go in, somebody's going to blow up, ISIS is going to be responsible for it, and it's going to happen on the 21st in that area and the 20th over here in the United States. And ISIS will claim responsibility for it afterwards. And then here we come. What happens? That exact same thing happens. And then it's the reference of 3, 2, 1. And then what Steve is all talking about, and John coming to help, John on the TV screen, putting things together. It's like, look, I'm just telling you what I think. I'm just playing things out in my head, trying to filter out what makes more sense. And this makes more sense. And then the next foreseeing the future of the script that they've written is that it's going to be a white guy, by himself. He's going to shoot up a church, and he's going to use a revolver, of course, and it will happen on the 27th of April. So that got even closer to being dead on. I mean, I can just say, well, that next event is going to be a specific date. That's not good enough. Yeah, I already know it's going to be on that date. Let me try to explain what's going to happen in detail. Okay, it will be Professor Plum, and he will have a revolver. It's the game of Clue, and he's going to go into the study and shoot up the study where you study the Word of God. I just thought it would be probably in Australia. I thought, okay, fine, I got the location wrong. So what? You can do whatever you want, but if you want to hold me to that, I don't know if anybody does, I'm just saying. So anyway, and then the bombs are going to be dropped in May. The bombs are being dropped in May. The bombs of everything. And again, when I say bombs, I don't just mean bombs. It's just the escalation of the bombshell news stories that are going to be out there are going to be exponential. And it all started in April, pretty much, March 15th, really, March 15th, New Zealand. That's actually when it did start. from east to west. So when the events come around and they happen on that specific day, and I turn the TV on and I can see it's dominating the news, like the 27th of April, I felt so damn good that day. I was on cloud 9, just floating, you know, because I'm looking like, oh man, please be just a white guy, a white supremacist, please just be a lone gunman, reference 666 somewhere, come on. Oh, thanks, yeah, 6 months since the Tree of Life synagogue. And how many shots was that, sir? 6? 6 or 7? Oh, hey, thanks for saying the word 666. And it just kept going with like the things that I seen would be in this person. I thought he would kill 666 people, but it was still the reference of 666. So this is how it works. You have bits and pieces. You might not have the exact bit over here, but you got all the pieces of the puzzle. And sometimes you have that piece, like that square, and you're trying to put it around it, but you still need the round hole and you still need the square peg. It's just, it doesn't go there. It goes over here. And that's how you figure out the world script. Just put all the pieces together. Let me finish this before my time runs out. Sorry, I ramble on sometimes.
Finally accept Jesus as our Savior. Jesus will then return and rule the earth.
See? Wait, see what? You probably forgot the beginning part, because I did too.
Site of the last Jewish temple, destroyed by the Romans in 70 AD. According to prophecy, the temple will be rebuilt, and the site restored to the Jewish nation, who will finally accept Jesus as their Savior.
Okay.
Jesus will then return and rule the earth.
Yeah, destroyed by, I'm telling you. Because the Christians will start believing
the
that.
foundation stone is the rock from which the entire earth expanded and formed, and today is considered the center of the earth and the place that Jews face during prayers. The rock is venerated by the Jewish people as the very stone where the Jewish patriarch Abraham prepared to offer his son Isaac as a sacrifice to God. Some Jewish traditions look to the Well of Souls as a location of the ancient temple's Holy of Holies, where the high priest would commune with God. For Muslims, the Dome of the Rock is looked to as the place where the angel Israfil will sound his trumpet on Resurrection Day.
See?
At
Resurrection
the end
Day.
of the world.
End of the world. So they're going to think that's
Most
him.
significantly, Muslims revere the foundation stone as the place from which Muhammad was taken after the mysterious night journey, where, accompanied by the angel Gabriel, the prophet was transported by the flying steed Burak to the mount, and then, after praying with Abraham, Moses, and Jesus, ascended into heaven to receive instructions.
Wait till I transform, Rabbin.
The Dome of the Rock has been rebuilt several times over the centuries. It is one of the most well-known
And the final
structures
time
on Earth,
coming.
attracting thousands of tourists and pilgrims.
Maybe I'll move in there.
The claim to the Dome of the Rock has been contested for 1,300 years.
Maybe I'll help
Its
rebuild
final
it.
fate is anybody's guess.
Its final fate is anybody's guess. Anybody's guess as to the fate of what's going to happen to the Temple Mount. It's not like if, it's like when it happens. It's anybody's freaking guess, you know, because it's a game of Clue. So there's the clue. That is definitely a target right around the 70th year anniversary, I believe. IMAM, IMAM, over in Iran, is a mosque that is going to be a target for, the other terrorists that aren't ISIS. the angry white guys that are running around pretending to be pissed off at everybody. Like, how mad can you stay at somebody? You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. Who walks around so freaking pissed off day in and day out? Well, my brother does. Yeah. Yeah, he battles demons. He don't really understand it. I mean, but I still have to battle myself. Everybody battles them. It's just, how long is the battle? Is it a second, or is it an hour? Or do you continue on all day long battling the same demon? Or is it like a second? You got like a thought for a second, like, they're gnats. So everything's going to be destroyed like that. Blame that one on God. Blame the other one on the angry white guy. And now, and then one more is St. Peter's, where the Pope has to be at, because he has to die still for 3.5 days and come back to life. Trump still has to get raptured up out of here. Obama still has to take over. Because when he takes over, Steve takes over, and then when he's destroyed, Steve's destroyed. You know, Steve is going to be the last person. Because look, it's his thing. I mean, I understand it's most likely YouTube is like his platform and Facebook and everything, and he was promised a rule. I mean, you know what I mean? Unless somebody else comes up and proves otherwise, that they're more worthy to rule than thou art, Jesus over there. Well, look, anybody can rise up from anywhere. You don't have to be famous. You just have to be recognized by the right people, because that's how God does it. He sends angels your way. You know, he sends like the angel Michael to come help with his legion of other messengers that he has, to get the word out where the truth really is. And that's just a fact. That is a fact that it's true. And also, the Spirit helps to go into people's hearts, because Christ is returning in everybody. And if he comes as a thief in the night, it's because you don't have him in your heart yet. So I understand Steve, you know, is going to be upset that he can't rule, but for a few days, and then Guam is last. You know, that's going to start World War III, just like World War II did.